Good morning, everyone. As promised, here is my story time. I was in an accident while driving for a rideshare company. So, I had been riding for this particular rideshare company for less than 30 days. I personally have no problem doing pooled or shared rides. What this is when a passenger gets a reduction in the rate of their trip because they allow you to pick up other passengers going the same general direction. Some drivers refuse ride sharing because the money isn't really worth the trip. I'm driving more so for the interactions and the experiences than the money. So I hope that other drivers can respect that. And I hope I'm not doing those who do this for a living a disservice by agreeing. But everyone has their own preference and their own boundaries. So I get a call, and it turns out to be this sweet older gentleman whose daughter ordered a ride for him. I have a whole spiel to put every rider at ease when they enter my vehicle. I address them by name, greet them, introduce myself, offer them snacks, candy, tell them to feel free to direct me on the radio station, the volume of the radio, the temperature of the air in the car. Then I ask them if they're ready to signal, hey, if you're going to buckle up, now's the time to buckle up. So this gentleman and I immediately laughed because his daughter had ordered him the ride. So the name I addressed him as wasn't correct. But he enjoyed the hospitality. So it was his first ride. And we had smooth, easygoing, genuine conversation. He was an Army veteran of the Vietnam War, and I'm an Army veteran of the Iraq War. So we spoke about our deployments, our experiences, and then I received another ping to pick up another passenger. So I informed him of the ping. We stopped to pick up a mother and her two teenage sons. The older teen sat up front in the passenger seat. The mother sat behind me, the driver, and the other teen sat in the middle. So the older gentleman was sitting behind the passenger seat. So we're off. We're all going about 25 minutes away. So we're having this awesome conversation. Everyone's laughing and talking and smiling the entire way. And then I get a ping message to drop off the first passenger here. So I pull over behind another car who's dropping someone off. And I look through my rear view and cars are driving past us. And I'm uneasy. My spider senses are tingling because of the cars going by. And she has to open the door that's toward the traffic. So I tell her, be careful, lots of cars are coming. And then I comfort myself internally. I'm like, she's an adult exiting a vehicle. She's done this all her life. It's not like it's one of her teen sons. So I look down to drop her off in the app so it can tell me where I'm supposed to drop the gentleman off at. Next thing I know, I hear metal scraping and screaming. And I'm like, oh my God, someone just died. And I look up and I see a car passing by and his side mirrors just dangling. And then I hear the mother telling her teenage son, go get that son of a bitch. And the teen son jumps out the passenger seat and he's running down the street. So I get out to see, if the mom is okay. And she's doing the Fred Sanford, oh, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you. She's being so overly dramatic. And I don't see any blood. I don't see any broken bones. And even my car door doesn't look as bad as it sounded. So anyway, the guy comes back and he's at least 90 years old. And he wasn't driving off because his wife had an appointment at the same spot that I was dropping off the mom and her two teen sons. So his wife and her caregiver get out the car and go into their appointment. So it's me and this 80-year-old man. And I'm like, hey, it's not too much damage to my vehicle. It's not too much damage to your vehicle. Here's my license. Here's my insurance. Let me get your license and your insurance. He can't find it. He's going through thousands of pieces of paper. Oh, stop rushing me. And I'm like, I'm not rushing you, but I got another passenger I need to drop off. So I look up and there's an ambulance. And I'm like, who called an ambulance? And there's the mom. She's dramatically telling them about her blood pressure. So the paramedics are checking her out. And I'm still waiting for this man to show me his insurance and his license. And then I tell the other passenger, one moment, because I still have to drop the other passenger off. So I look up again, and here's the police. I'm like, who called the police? So the mom walks over, and she's telling the police this dramatic story about how much she almost lost her life. And I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. So I tell the other passenger, hey, I'm going to cancel your ride. Can you get your daughter to get you another ride so you can get to your appointment? And he's like, yes. And he's very understanding. And he gives me his personal information. And he tells me if I need anything to just give him a call. So after the mom is all dramatic with the ambulance and the mom is all dramatic with the police, she's like, you know what? I got to take my sons to their appointment before they're late. So she takes off to her son's appointment. So now it's just me, the police, and this 80-year-old man. The 80-year-old man miraculously finds his insurance and his driver's license and hands them over to the policewoman. So the police officer is pissed because she was called to a minor accident. And I tell her, I didn't call you. I don't even want you here. You could go. And she says, well, I'm here now. So a security guard appears out of nowhere and proceeds to tell the officer how she saw the whole thing and it was all my fault for illegally parking, and she sees people drop people off there all day and she can't say anything because that's not on her side of the street, but I got what I deserve. And I'm thinking, you salty bitch, who hurt you? It wasn't me. So the police officer takes my info, it takes the 80-year-old's info, and she goes and sits in her car. And a UPS officer, a UPS truck driver, he comes up to me and he asks me to move my car because he has packages to load and unload. So I move my car to the other side of the street, and he pulls in exactly where I was parked when I had the accident. So I sit in my car for 1 hour waiting for this police officer to do whatever it is she's doing. And I'm watching this UPS driver load and unload packages for an hour. So finally, she comes and she gives me 2 tickets. One for standing in a no parking, no standing zone. And 2 for allowing my grown adult passenger to open the door into traffic. And then she turns to the 80-year-old and says, you won't be getting any tickets. You didn't do anything wrong. And call in 2 days and get a copy of this police report so you can file it with your insurance company so she could pay for your mirror. So I asked her if she's going to ticket the UPS driver who's been loading and unloading for an hour in the no parking, no standing zone. And she says to me, I ain't no traffic cop. I have better things to do. And she drives off. So at this point, I'm heated. And I feel like I've been left holding the bag. So I head home to file a claim with the rideshare company. Unfortunately, my deductible is $2,500 and my door repair is only about $1,800. So no money from the insurance. A few days later, I get a call from the other driver's insurance company informing me that the mom is claiming to be seriously injured. I have no comment. I'm not getting involved in that. So then the insurance company informs me it's in my best interest to have a lawyer sue the mom before she comes for me because they aren't giving her anything. So she's going to come for me next. Nice try at the scare tactic, Rebecca, but I still not getting involved in it and I still got nothing for you. So 30 days later, I get a speeding ticket in the mail for $100 stating I was speeding in a construction zone and it was caught on camera. And it was dated the day I got into the accident and I was trying to get home. To top all of that off, I had 90 days to pay for the tickets that I got. So with all the suing going on and everything else, I decided to wait. And then I went on a scheduled vacation. So I come back, I waited too long. So now the tickets have doubled. So I will say that my car is under my LLC, and I drive under my LLC. So if anybody sues me, they can't come after my personal assets. And I recommend that anybody who's driving does the same thing. So all in all, I was unable to drive for 2 months while the vehicle was being repaired and the case was closed out. So it's now been about 90 days and the vehicle is fixed. All the insurance issues are cleared up and I'm reestablished as a driver with the ride sharing company. But I haven't driven for this particular ride share company since the accident. I try not to drive in the city where the accident happened, but it's almost unavoidable because I usually pick someone up one place and they want to be dropped off in that city. But once I get to that city and I drop them off, I turn the app off, I get out of that city within the speed limits, and then I turn the app back on once I'm clear. So, some lessons learned. Listen to your gut feeling. If something is telling you on the inside something isn't right, change your action. Don't let a passenger out into traffic ever, and drive the speed limit. Even if other drivers are cussing you out and giving you the finger as they go by, it's not worth the ticket. You're not getting any extra money by dropping them off any quicker. Drive the speed limit. So that is my story time about how I got into an accident while driving for a rideshare company. I hope it amused you. I hope you learned some life lessons from it. I hope you get something positive out of it. Thanks for listening. Bye.